Episode 25 of The Take is coming your way next. We have reached the quarter-century mark for episodes. It's been pretty crazy. We are, just almost at a half year? Next week, half a year. 6 months. 6 months that has flown by. We're talking the J.J. Watt signing. He is headed to Arizona. Although all the speculation was, is he going home to Green Bay? Is he going to Cleveland, Buffalo? What contender? He ends up going to Arizona, a team that I still think is a little further off from really contending Super Bowl chase-wise in that ring as a Super Bowl contender. Christian and I will be talking episode 8 of WandaVision. And what Dr. Seuss book will you not be seeing at Barnes & Noble anymore? That's coming up next. So Monday, sources broke the news that J.J. Watt was going to sign with the Arizona Cardinals. Sources meaning literally J.J. Watt posted it. He tweeted out a photo of him in the gym with an Arizona Cardinals shirt. And with a lot of speculation, after he was granted his release from Houston, the possibility was, is he going to go back home to Wisconsin? Is he going to go to Green Bay, play for the Packers? Cleveland, it was going to join, Myles Garrett, another top defensive end. Buffalo was a big one. I know a lot of Bills Mafia were hoping maybe they get an elite pass rusher for Watt. It seems as if money was definitely a factor. He was able to get $23 million guaranteed in this deal, and it's like around $15.5, $16 million per year with the 23 guaranteed from the Cardinals. That's a lot of money when it comes to guaranteed money and at his position. So money had to be a factor. Going to the Cardinals, I think, I'll say, not even for Watt himself, for the Cardinals, amazing move. This is a division that you have to kind of just keep up with. Seattle, LA, Rams, San Fran, and them. With such great defensive players in this division, Aaron Donald, Jamal Adams, Jalen Ramsey, Carlos Dunlap, Nick Bosa. So for the Cardinals to get a guy like Watt, you have him and Chandler Jones as your 1A, 1B defensively. So this helps them. It helps them compete even more in the division. But for Watt, I'm wondering, this team in the first half of the season was looking, all right, the Cardinals are definitely going to be a possible playoff team. Kyler, DeAndre Hopkins, this offense looks really good. They're going to, this could be a playoff team for the next, X amount of years. They end up blowing it in the second half and end up missing the playoffs. So to go to a contender in the sense of, yeah, they're going to be playing meaningful games throughout the year, I understand. But there's no guarantees of J.J. Watt being on a immediate Super Bowl contender. That's just not what the Cardinals are. I still think that they're a handful of players away from being at the top of the conference. Hopkins did a nice job, obviously, in terms of recruiting. I'm sure Hopkins was in Watt's ear for probably a lot of this process. Said, hey, follow me to Arizona. We got something brewing. We got something working. Watt said that Murray was a big factor in him. He believes in Kyler. I also think he just thinks that $23 million in his bank sounds pretty friggin' good. And I'm wondering, there was reports that no other team was really close to what the Cardinals were willing to guarantee him and his AAV. I think at 15 and a half, 16, the Cardinals are giving him. I think people and other teams were looking more to, I think the highest they were looking at was like maybe 12 per year. So the fact that he was able to get guaranteed essentially 12 a year on top of a possibility of earning an extra 8 obviously serves Watt well. I mean, this dude's been nothing short of elite. I get the injury history. I get that he's older in age. But at the end of the day, it's similar to baseball contracts in the sense that like they're paying for what Watt has done. Has he had the top 4 or top 3 at his position type years over the past few years? No, not really. But he's still J.J. Watt. You're bringing a guy that has a great leadership, great club, locker room asset as a leader on that defensive end. So I think it's a great move for Arizona. And at the end of the day, he went to a spot that he was comfortable going to, and we can all, of course, the whole Watt free agency thing starts and ends in the middle of the whole Deshaun Watson thing. Of course, I'm listening to New York radio. Deshaun Watson is still a topic, one of 5 topics on New York radio. Should the Jets get him? What should the Jets do at the quarterback position? Deshaun Watson has been on more New York talk radio over the past 2 months than I can take. And Watt, free agent signs within a month's time. And the Texans still don't know what to do with Watson. Ultimately, I think Watson does get traded. I mean, he's already told them, listen, I'm not playing for the Texans. I'm willing to hold out. I'm willing to not show up at the camp. I will not be playing in the Texans uniform. Could it be a possible James Harden situation, how he left Houston this year? At some point, I think the Texans organization have to see, all right, if this is true, this is, we need to see what's the most we can get for him. Again, 25-year-old franchise quarterbacks don't just fall off trees or just become available all of a sudden. Watson becoming available right now it won't happen again in like a lifetime. I think it's that rare. Why would you get rid of Watson? They won 4 games last year, but there was no good. The roster was absolutely dog shit. Ultimately, I think Watson gets traded, and I think he's going to go to the Panthers. I think that they trade him out of conference, so they don't have to see him at all. Even if the Dolphins and the Jets are out of division, you probably won't see the Panthers.